Over the last decade, Florida has experienced a quiet revolution, the opening of hundreds of after-school programs that fill children's afternoons with activities that are educational, engaging, and fun. Not long ago, after-school programs were available only to a lucky few. Thousands of children were alone and unsupervised each afternoon after the school bell rang and before their parents returned home from their jobs. Some of those children played soccer, went to cheerleading practice or chess club an afternoon or two each week. Some studied or watched over younger brothers or sisters. But other children and teens used their time a lot less constructively. They experimented with alcohol, drugs, or sex, got involved with gangs, or fell victim to crime. The afternoons became known as the dangerous hours for America's kids. The Florida After-School Network was established to address the need and importance of after-school in Florida. The network's goal is to ensure that every child in Florida has high-quality after-school opportunities that are accessible, affordable, accountable, and inclusive.
Florida After-School Network is one of 38 national networks funded by the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation. It's a partnership between the Mott Foundation and state and local agencies. The sole purpose of the network, in my judgment, is to ensure that every child has the opportunity to attend high-quality after-school programs that are accessible, accountable, affordable, and inclusive. That's our whole purpose, that's our vision, that's our being.
The Florida After-School Network, in its creation, one of the best things that came out of that was the fact that you had good quality after-school funders and providers that were doing their own thing around the state. And the Florida After-School Network enabled us to all come together at a statewide table to talk about common goals, to talk about the common goals that we all share, and that is to give good quality after-school programming to every student in the state of Florida.
We've developed the first state standards for after-school, quality after-school programming in this state, and these standards have been endorsed by numerous agencies throughout the state. In fact, just recently, St. Lucie County has said if you're going to get any funding from us, whether it's a public or private funding, you have got to meet the state standards for after-school that were developed by the Florida After-School Network. We're also developing a professional development system whereby after-school teachers can get a certificate degree all the way up to a bachelor degree, and we're working on that feverishly right now. We'll be the first state in the union to have that. We also fund programs through the National Lights On After School. Our board of directors funds $10,000 to allow us to help local programs celebrate the National Lights On After School Day. And Florida has more percentually more programs participating in Lights On After School than any other state in the country.
Florida has a vast unmet need for after-school programs. There are wonderful after-school programs here that serve thousands and thousands of children. They keep kids safe, inspire them to learn, and help working families. They give children a chance to explore their interests and find their passions, all under the supervision of caring adults. Sister and brother Jenna and Hunter Walls of Leesburg, Florida, agree that their after-school program has made a big difference in their lives. Each found good friends and the support they needed to bring up their grades. The after-school program also helped their family weather tough economic times.
I brought Jenna and Hunter into the program because I needed after-school care. I didn't want them at home alone. Hunter was having problems in school. He wasn't doing well with his reading, and I know that they had a good tutoring program, and he's actually excelled since he's been in the program. And Jenna's actually done a lot better too.
After school, every single day, I come to the Jenna Centers, and first we go into the sanctuary and learn our character trait, and then we go into the snack room and we play games and eat our snack. Then after we eat our snack, we go into the classrooms and the teachers help us out, and we do tutoring and we learn about new things.
We do music, art, auto mechanics, we do hair, And when we're done with our enrichment and playtime and snack and sanctuary, we go to our classrooms and finish our homework. And if we're already done, we go and we have board games in the classroom, and we have computers and a computer in there with a screen where we can play games with that, and there's 2 little pins that we can use if they're charged. And at the beginning of school year, I had D's and C's. And when I got low grades and I had to work on my homework harder. And when we started to come to Genesis, I started bringing my grades up and had all my homework done by the first day.
One, it helps the family financially because it's a free program that's offered, and I don't see the point in working to pay for daycare because that's just pointless. So they help the families out with this, and in the summertime the kids get to go to different things that we couldn't provide for them to go to, and it gives them a place to go in the summertime.
After-school programs have been a lifesaver to the Simmons and to many working families nationwide.
Well, my daughter was having problems when she had my grandchildren, and I have 2 sons and 1 daughter. So she couldn't seem to get her life together. So my grandchildren were in foster care. So I didn't want the state to adopt them out. So I adopted them myself because I wanted better for my grandchildren. I wanted them to have a chance to make something out of themselves in life.
My grandma, since she takes care of 5 teens in the house, it's pretty tough. And not everyone has help like our grandmother does, and she's only one grown-up who's paying all the bills, and some of us don't have an everyday job like she does, so we try to help her out by being in the kitchen all the time, getting things that need to be done, and just being there for her when she needs help.
The cause at the Boys and Girls Club helped me tremendously with my grandkids going there because the daycares and things were too expensive for me, so when I got them in the Boys and Girls Club, the price there was great.
Attending the Boys and Girls Club was kind of cool because I had seen commercials about it, and at the time it was being built. And the activities there are so amazing. They have computer labs, a game room, a huge gym, and snacks, and what else could you ask for? It really opened my eyes to see how many people are actually watching you and the way your attitude is, especially little kids. You're like a role model to them, and they watch your every move, every step, what you say, and that's a big thing for kids. Something that I do want to say to everyone, wherever you are, there is a Boys and Girls Club near, and if you see it, get into it. Get in the Boys and Girls Club and start volunteering and do what you want to do and do what you got to do to help others.
They have strong support from the governor to mayors, congressmen and women, state legislators, business and community leaders, to parents.
Can you explain a little bit how after school helps families, particularly our working families?
Working families today are so dependent upon the entire community. Most parents work today. The mother and the father are working, and oftentimes the hours are not all that flexible. So if you have to pick up your child at 2:30, 3 o'clock from school, that could really impair your work opportunities. So it's truly a balance now. Families need options. And if there are a few days a week or 5 days a week where they can rely on a safe and clean place for their children to play and to study, that's basic to families being successful.
I have supported since day one creating more and more programs. We've doubled the budget of the Parks Department since I've been there, precisely to create either athletic programs or artistic and cultural programs for kids in our community. You know, it just makes you feel great to see those hundreds of kids doing drama, singing, playing instruments, and seeing their parents there enjoying their kids. It's essential to help working parents in our community to have their kids in healthy activities.
If business partners, if they realize, and we touched on the productivity of a parent, if she's at work not worried about what her child's doing from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, that's a benefit that the business feels, and in turn the community feels. And when you have a company like Bright House stepping up, that's a perfect example of the private sector making a real commitment to the community and filling a gap that, quite frankly, we're having a hard time filling in government.
But there simply isn't enough funding. A 2008 study just released by the After School Alliance found that just 20% of Florida's school-age children are in after-school programs. 1 in 4 are responsible for caring for themselves after the school day ends. But there is hope. After-school supporters and a growing Florida After-School Network are determined to make sure Florida's kids and families have the after-school programs they need.
Here in the Tampa Bay area, the company has worked with the After School Alliance for several years. We've been involved in the Lights On After School events. But in 2005, it became a formal part of our strategic initiative with after-school programs. The wealth of resources that they could bring to it so that we could really maximize the $1 million investment we were making across the state of Florida was invaluable.
It's very important for businesses to get involved in the after-school cause because there are currently more than 14 million children in this nation that have nowhere to go after school. And this year, JCPenney and the After School Fund will give more than $10 million in support to after-school programs, but that really doesn't even come close to addressing the needs that exist. And it's going to take everyone. It's going to take governmental bodies, companies, individuals, everyone coming together to find solutions for this problem.
How can Florida then jump ahead and be a leader in this effort?
Other states throughout America have initiated comprehensive after-school initiatives, the state of New York, I believe, the state of California. So we don't have to recreate the wheel. We just have to have a plan that school districts and cities and counties and nonprofit agencies work on together.
Do you have any suggestions at the local level how we should work better on advocating with families, with folks like yourself, with business and so on?
It's going to take all of us working together. Government can't do it alone. The nonprofit agencies in this economy can't do it alone. Businesses, we need everyone at the table to get it done.
After-school funding is one of the most important investments we can make. Either we're going to invest in the front end, or we're going to invest more in prisons and backstopping this. What would you rather do? Front-end it and do what we need to do, or backstop after people's lives have absolutely come apart? This is a critical investment, and in my opinion, one of the very best investments that we can possibly make, because it's not just this generation. We're investing in their children's children in ways that will pay dividends long after we're gone.
There are barriers to overcome and challenges to meet, but those pitfalls should not discourage Floridians from insisting that quality after-school opportunities are available for all. We have to insist. There's so much at stake. When we make after-school programs available to all children and families, we'll see more children succeed in school, higher graduation rates, less substance abuse and teen pregnancy, less juvenile crime. And we'll be making our country more competitive and our future more secure by preparing the next generation of artists, astronauts, educators, entrepreneurs, scientists, and writers. For more information, visit Florida After School Network at myfan.org.